What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Clancy, Navigator Bowman, and you are listening to the Outerhaven Podcast, episode number 102. We are making our official debut on twitch.tv, so shouts out to everybody that came out to watch. Thank you very much for showing some love. Yo, behind me, I have not behind me, but with me, I have a few people.
I was going to say, how are we behind you?
I know. Speaking of, I have the editor-in-chief of the Outerhaven Productions, Keith Shadowhaxer Mitchell, here with me. Keith, what's going on, bro?
What's up, people? What's going on? Just enjoying some fun-filled adventures in the Division, getting my ass kicked in the Dark Zone. And for that gentleman or miss, I don't know, I can't tell, internet names, ask me if I am a video game journalist. Yes. Yes, I am.
Also, we have our resident Australian who's threatened to kick me in the nether regions 81 times. Carl May Smart. Carl, what's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Oh man, that
Why you do this?
That Bruce
Why you
Buffer
do this?
that Bruce Buffer intro, man. I love that. We also have our resident graphic designer and all-around anime fan, Joshua Jeremiah JJ. Oh, so sexy, Piedra. Josh, what's up, bro?
What's going on, everybody? We are live. Twitch, finally making it happen. It only took 102 episodes to get here, but we have done it.
Oh, please. So I was expecting somebody just to pull the Bill O'Reilly line. Like, I was just waiting for it. But...
You know, I got admit, every time you mention Josh's name, I always picture him as JJ Jonah.
Jay Jonah?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, it's Josh. Wait, no, that's not Josh.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
We also have a person that we haven't heard from in a long time. He's been busy playing some Street Fighter 5. His name is Adriel Rangel. Oh, you thought we was going to mention Nitro? Please. We got the other guy. Adriel, what's up, boy?
Wow,
Thanks.
The other guy.
Thanks
Cool.
for that.
Yes.
All these people, they're like, look at these fine peoples. Here's the other guy.
The other guy.
The other guy.
I'll give him a proper introduction. He is also my partner in crime in anime reviews on the outerhaven.net. It's Adriel. What's up, man?
Yay!
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with what's going on the screen right now, this is basically what we have. The talking heads is everybody I just mentioned here. So you now officially have the voices to go with the names, and the talking points are on screen so you can follow us what we're doing. Join the conversation on social media at the Outerhaven Net. Give us a follow, as well as use the hashtag TOHpodcast to talk about any of the topics that we have for today. So let's start. We call this episode Maximum Spider for a reason, because we had a trailer that came out. Captain America Civil War trailer number 2 came out, and fans kind of lost their shit at a certain spider.
Kind of lost their shit?
At the end. I'm trying to be nice about it. They went crazy.
We're not nice.
Some of them went crazy. Some went crazy. Some got salty. Me, I just sat there laughing like, ha 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 ha, one-liners.
Was it Ghostbusters level salty?
We'd have to ask our resident Australian, Mace.
Considering I'm the man that's supposedly salty about all this, I will make it straight out. There's not Ghostbusters level of salt. It's more salt at the way that they decide to market this in a defensive position due to Superman versus Batman coming out. Personally, I just figured, why spoil Spider-Man so early? Why not just leave him for the movie so everybody knows he was going to be in there? Leave the suit and his affiliation and everything completely blank, so you have a reason to go in for a bit of intrigue.
I hear that. So let's talk a little bit about the trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Civil War. I've assumed we all seen it, and I've seen you all seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it's online. You can find it.
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Are you bullshitting me right now?
Totally. I've watched that thing like 100 times.
All right, so Keith, talk about it. Let's know what's good with that.
So, where do you want to start? The beginning?
Do you want to start? Yeah, start at the beginning. Like,
So let's start at the beginning. So as the trailer opens up, the guy, I can't remember his name, but he used to play Thunderbolt Ross and the Incredible Hulk. He's basically talking to Captain America or Steve Rogers and Scarlet Witch and Falcon about all the things that have happened across the globe since the Avengers were formed. Which I really didn't think that was fair because the Avengers were there to take care of the situation. The situations would have happened in a worse manner had they not gotten involved. But, it's a movie, it's a plot, what do you do? So he's telling them that there needs to be some accountability here. And then lo and behold, Mr. Iron Man, Tony Stark, comes like, yeah, that's why I'm here. We need to be accountable for our actions. And this is it's really odd that he comes out and says that because this is Tony Stark for all people. He didn't care about anybody but himself. He's out for himself. This is me, all me. This is my show. And for him to do a complete turn or a heel turn, as you want to take that from your wrestling fans, that he's all of a sudden wants to support the government in trying to make the Avengers accountable for action. The same government, that they took down or was helping take down that was for Hydra in the last Captain America movie. It's kind of ridiculous. So after we get that, we get a couple action scenes. We get Winter Soldier fighting Tony Stark, which has this really cool, nifty gauntlet on his hand, I should say, that he uses in a fight with Winter Soldier before Winter Soldier decides to cap him in the face, and he deflects it. I don't understand how he deflects it, but Tony looks really startled when he does that. Trying to remember what's happening. I'm kind of a little fuzzy. I've not watched it. Anybody else want to jump in real quick? It was basically a bunch of action scenes. If anything, I won't break down the entire trailer. From what we did get, though, is we got some answers about why the movie is starting out. We got some more definition of the characters of the team, why they're doing what they're doing. But, however, there was one particular part of that trailer that I didn't understand, and that was when the Black Widow was talking to Tony. It was basically saying, Tony said they're coming after you, and she said to him, you should watch your back. I don't need to worry about mine or something to that offense. And it makes me seem like they're foreshadowing that she's going to turn on him eventually in the movie. Now, fans of the Civil War comic know that a lot of people changed from pro-registration and against registration during a major event in the comic. And in the comic, it was the death of Goliath, which a lot of people left. In the comics, it was like Susan, Storm, Human Torch, Storm, Black Panther, and a couple of people. They defected. They left. They went to against the Registration Act. So I see that might be happening here. But the teams that we have so far is Captain America, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Falcon. Who am I missing here? Hawkeye versus Iron Man, War Machine, Black Widow, T'Challa the Black Panther. Why do I feel like I'm missing somebody that should be important? Oh, and the Vision. That's right, because he's not important. And I'm just saying, I'm not a big fan of this Vision, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Vision. But you get to see them fight. You get to see some more action scenes. You finally get to see Hawkeye shoot Ant-Man on an arrow, one of the iconic scenes from a comic way back when. And sure, we do see Spider-Man at the end of the trailer, but we won't talk about him just yet. A couple things that really took interest for me was the previous trailer. We saw that War Machine was in bad shape. We didn't know what happened to him. All we know, he was on the ground and Tony was over him getting pissed off. In this trailer, we finally get to see that something, I don't know if it was a rocket or a beam, something shoots him right in the middle of his he doesn't have an arc pen. He doesn't have an arc reactor. It's a different power source for the War Machine suit, unless they're not following continuity. And he gets hit, and he basically falls out of the sky and on the ground. He looks like he's in bad shape. And for the longest time, people were saying, that maybe War Machine was going to be the casualty that the Civil War is going to have. However, it's just weird. Why would you show a guy dying in 2 trailers? I don't think that he's going to die. I think it will be a major turning point in the movie for Tony to ramp shit up. Because now you've noticed when you saw this trailer, Tony is not really on the receiving end this time. He's on the giving end. He looks more vicious. He looks more frustrated. And previously, when we saw Captain America and Winter Soldier going tag team on Iron Man, this time around we're seeing Iron Man kicking the crap out of Steve. And those cues from the actual comic when they first fought, Iron Man was laying into Captain America. It wasn't until Captain America did something. Actually, Captain America had a device that disabled his suit for a little bit, but he still ended up getting his ass kicked by Iron Man. So this time around, we're actually seeing Tony doing some damage, and we get to see that iconic pose again from Captain America, from the very first Captain America, when he states that he can do this all night, basically get his ass kicked. He gets as good as he gets. So bits and pieces of action from that trailer, and then of course at the very end we do get a snippet of Spider-Man coming in, which is kind of ironic because Tony calls him in by calling him under rules. Like the kids' undergarments.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but
I was
all
like,
right.
wait, and I had to rewind the trailer a couple of times. It's like, did he say under rules?
All right. So that being said, impressions for everybody that's watched it. Josh, impressions on the trailer.
You're asking the anime guy who believes in Japanese animation and exclusively reads manga to comment on an American cinema trailer? The fuck's wrong with you?
Look, listen. I figured you watched it.
No.
As a journalist and as someone that's interested.
No. Well, you just said as someone who's interested. I am not interested in American cinema, nor am I interested in comic book movies. So, you asked the wrong guy.
I just wanted to put that on the record, guys. By the way, so.
Ooh.
I just wanted to make sure that's on the record, very well. Adriel, you got a chance? Did you get a chance to see this trailer?
I sure did.
Talk to me, baby.
I like it. Like, I can't put it into words, really. I'm excited about it.
Wait, Adrian,
Cautiously optimistic.
Before you go any further, I have to stop you. So who are you? Team Iron Man or Team Cap?
We're
all choosing sides, by the way.
I gotta be Team Iron Man.
Oh.
Just because, like, you got Spider-Man coming and he takes a shield and he's like, I'm the captain now.
I'm Team Edward, by the way. Elric, that is.
Remember, he did that in the comic, and he switched sides.
Oh, also, man. When is Iron Spider, though?
I don't think we're getting Iron Spider. I don't really think that Sony would let them take as many liberties as they would like to have done. Because remember, it's a tag team here with Spider-Man. We get to see his likeness in the movie, but that just means he gets publicity for an upcoming Spider-Man movie. But I don't see that happening.
So Mace, impressions on the movie.
Well, I kind of put impressions on the movie because I haven't seen the movie yet,
trailer,
so
excuse me, on the movie trailer. I mean, it's a little mini movie that just, on the trailer, excuse me.
Basically, it fits well with the cinematic universe that they're going for. The whole reason for the registration is due to the destruction that has happened, with the whole island in Age of Ultron being lifted, Wescovia being done, obviously New York being a big part of it from the first Avengers movie, and all that type of stuff. Obviously, the government are really worried. Somebody's got to pick up the tab. This way, that way they can play the registration angle really well. Of course, Captain America being opposed to it because he's seen what registration does. Hello, World War II. So I like that they've continued that. They've brought in the Raft, which is a big offshore supervillain prison.
I wasn't sure if that was the Raft. I'm sorry. I didn't know if there was a Raft for remember the Avengers back in the day had underwater headquarters as well?
No, that if you look at the trailer, that thing is specifically set up as a prison. They show it rising out of the water, and then you see on the inside it's a big circular prison. It's the exact same building.
Isn't it weird, though? I mean, you're looking at the Marvel Cinematic Universe as it is, and they really don't have a lot of superheroes. It seems kind of superfluous to have that there right now, unless it's foreshadowing things to come. I don't know.
It's probably foreshadowing more than anything else, but it's also a good reference to the Marvel Universe in general, because the Raft is a well-known supervillain prison.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So to have that in the movies and use that as one of the issues of contention between Cap and Iron Man rather than the negative zone that was used in the comic books is a really good idea. And that way we also keep that, Fantastic Four reboot stink off the film franchise.
Dear God.
So yeah, like story-wise, not a problem with it. I know, like even Spider-Man showing up, I'm liking the look. It is old school, harkening back to like the original Spider-Man with like the wide black eyes and all that type of stuff. So it's like an old style look in the costume. It's no more raised plastic for the webbing or anything like that. It's pure old school costume design, which is
yeah.
awesome. The fact that he takes Cap's shield, that's fine. Does that in the comic books. I know how this ends if they're going to keep it with the books. But yeah, overall, I like the trailer. I'm looking forward to the movie, and it's even got me interested to sit here and read through all 106 issues that comprise the Civil War series. So I'm going to read through that again just to try and reacclimatize myself to that, because also coming in contention with this is Civil War 2 in the comic books, for some reason.
Okay.
Because Marvel likes that crossover money.
Yeah, I'm not even going to follow this second Civil War. This one makes no sense.
It's a tie-in, that's all it is.
Oh, it's a tie-in?
Yeah. But, well, not so much a tie-in as more like, hey, oh, you've seen this movie? Well, we just happen to have a nice little comic book event going on right now called Civil War 2. You might want to check it out. But my main contention is, as I said before, is the marketing of Spider-Man. Everybody is so excited to see this character in the mainline Marvel movie franchise. Finally get him away from Sony and see what Marvel can actually do with him. I thought that would have been enough to carry the interest through to the movie itself. However, we're living in an age where everything needs to be spoiled. Everything needs to be known in advance. We need to see what the new Batmobile looks like. How does Ben Affleck look in the suit? We need to see Spider-Man in the second trailer, or else we're not going to go see the movie. What happened to the days where intrigue and mystery sold a trailer? Like, it sold a movie.
You're a dinosaur, my friend. Those days are long gone, unfortunately.
I know, and it really annoys me because one of the best films that I consider one of my best films ever is the original Alien movie. Why? Because for 95% of that film, you never see the xenomorph. You see little flicks of the tail, you see shadows, you see glimmers, quick shots of him killing something. You don't see the entire creature till the end, and that's what hooked you throughout the whole movie. Spider-Man could have been this movie's xenomorph. Allude to him in a trailer or something. They could have cut it, they did, like Tony said, up top. All you really need to do was see the web come down and grab the shield, cut to black. And that would have sold it 10 times better, because all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, we just saw Spider-Man's web, but we still don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm like,
it was also unlike the movie Contact, where you waited through the whole movie to see the alien. It was just her goddamn father.
Did you just bring on that movie?
Really?
Yes, I did.
You were holding that in your back pocket, weren't you? It was like, today is the day I get to talk about Contact.
That movie just one giant brain fuck.
Yeah, that was in my back pocket. Had some lint on it, a little bit of dust. Had to blow that shit off and use it.
I'm gonna watch that after this podcast.
Oh, he's
No, you're not.
Yes, I totally am.
He's good. All right, ladies. All right. So, basically, if you had to pick, I mean, Keith did say we're supposed to quote unquote pick teams, pick sides.
I mean, it's just.
I mean, I'm obviously Team Iron. I'm Team Iron Man. If I had to choose, because I've always been a fan of Tony Stark, but that's just me.
It was hard for me back then because, I'm not a fan of Iron Man, but I am a huge, huge fan of War Machine. I've always liked the design of War Machine.
How are we friends though? I don't see how this works.
We're not friends anymore. Remember that? I'm Steve. We're no friends. We're not friends anymore.
By the way, which version of War Machine is it? They going Don Cheadle?
Cheadle.
This was
or
actually.
was it Terrence Howard?
It was Cheadle. It was Cheadle.
And actually, the suit is actually called Warhammer. It's not War Machine in this movie, but whatever. They keep changing every movie.
I'm just saying. I saw Don Cheadle.
Yeah, because Iron Man 3 screwed up. What was it?
A ton of continuity.
Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have Iron Patriot now. Why? Because they use it in Iron Man 3.
It should have never been Iron Patriot. It was like he never had Iron Patriot. What are you guys doing?
Actually, wasn't that Norman Osborn?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was Norman Osborn.
Okay, so brief history. So Norman Osborn had Iron Patriot. After he was out of power, after he was out of S.H.I.E.L.D., at one point, they decided to rebrand War Machine and call his suit the Iron Patriot, which was after the movie, and it didn't last very long. I think that also got his comic canceled.
Yeah, like 'cause the funny thing in Iron Man 3, Don Cheadle was the Iron Patriot. Like,
right.
Like, but why?
But even still, in that movie, he was like, you know, even though his password was War Machine Rocks, you know, he admitted War Machine was a cooler name.
Yeah.
But either way.
All right. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Captain America Civil War trailer reaction.
Calling it now. Iron Man, Tony Stark is a Skrull. Telling you.
Oh God!
And Captain America dies at the end.
Oh
and
man!
Gets put in it and doesn't actually die. You know, he's just sent in the past. He's stuck in a time warp somehow.
Let's do the time warp again.
They'll find that he's actually floating somewhere in the cosmic cube, so he can reappear to take on Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet 2-parter.
All right. So Street Fighter V, man, we got a glimpse, or at least Capcom just busted the door open on both myself and Adriel's favorite character in Street Fighter, Alex, the pro wrestler from New York. Yo, Adriel, should I go first or you go first? Because I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, we gonna fight for this.
Yeah, you go first. You tell them what you know, and then I'll fill in the blanks.
All right, for those of you that don't know who Alex is, Alex made his premiere in Street Fighter 3 New Generation. He was supposed to be the main character of the story arc. Still technically is the main character of the story arc. Street Fighter 3 was not supposed to have Ryu and Ken at all. It was just supposed to be Alex straight up. Alex was the main character straight out 100%.
Wait, I'm sorry. Didn't he still win regardless? Third strike, even though they changed it, he still won the tournament, right?
Oh, yeah,
he won the
tournament. The current champion of the Street or the World Warrior tournament
is Alex, and he basically turned to Jesus at the end. He turned all red and blue and turned to Jesus. And walked on water with Gil. It was crazy. So basically, he's avenging his friend Tom's, I want to say, like, massive injury or death, if I recall correctly.
He got in a fight with Gil. Gil beat him up.
Yeah,
have to put him in the hospital.
Okay, so it was like massive injuries.
Yeah. Like he was still conscious and everything. He was just roughed up. And Alex is like, "I'm gonna take this guy out." And Tom's like, "No, it was a fight. It was fine. I'll be out here in a month. It's fine." And Alex is like, "No," and he goes out.
Yeah, pretty much. So taken from the fact that Street Fighter V is story wise between Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 3, fucking Capcom.
Capcom doesn't know how to do canon and continuing. It's just
continuity. Yeah.
Just ignore it. They're done. I don't care anymore.
So we're seeing Alex in the game. And this is Alex before, before Stun Gun Headbutt and Boomerang Raid and Hyper Bomb. Adriel, you want to talk about his V skill?
Yeah, I'll talk about his V skill. His V skill is called Overhaul, and it is the same taunt that he had in Street Fighter 3.
Yep.
Now, in Street Fighter...
Wasn't it in Street Fighter 3 that isn't it the same here, where his next hit does more damage?
Yep, his next hit does more damage, and counts as a crush counter. Or rather, it counts as a counter hit, regardless of whether it was actually a counter hit or not.
Ooh, that's nice. We look at his V trigger Raid Shift, which he gets a brand new chargeable clothesline attack, and it has one hit of armor while charging, and if it's fully charged to max, it breaks opponent's guard, and it's pretty much a focus attack.
How long does it take to charge?
They didn't say. Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't say. His critical art is Heavy Hammer, which is his flash chop to turn the opponent around and proceeding to take them into a crucifix hold and drop them down at breakneck speeds. So pretty much his move is the Razor's Edge for those of you that know Razor Ramon or Scott Hall.
Hey, Chico.
Let me take a survey. So,
I miss him.
Yeah, I know. Thank God for DDP Yoga, right? Other moves such as his Power Bomb, his Flash Chop, and some adaptation of his Stun Gun Headbutt have really returned. Well, not even Stun Gun Headbutt. It just is his back heavy, which is that headbutt from Third Strike.
Hold on. We got his special moveset.
Oh, you
do? Hear that? Yeah, you didn't check that Famitsu article?
Oh, I didn't see the Famitsu article.
All right, just today, breaking news: his special moves have been revealed.
Okay.
Okay, so you know his charge moves?
You talking about his flash elbow?
Yep, slash elbow and the stomp.
Yes, they're in there.
Gone.
No.
Gone forever.
No.
No
And if you
spiral
actually pause it,
DDT.
you can see the exact moment where Clinton's heart breaks.
I wasn't picturing when he's saying no, and I'm seeing Bison go, yes!
Okay.
Okay, so no charge moves.
But he has his he has his knee DP.
He has his knee DP. He has a knee smash. He has flash chop. He has power bomb. He has stun gun headbutt as a special.
Oh, so they didn't make it back heavy.
Nope.
Because if you remember correctly, back heavy had a ridiculous amount of stun in Third Strike, and as well as his standing far roundhouse.
Still has that roundhouse. I know that much.
Oh, thank God, he still has that roundhouse.
No. Ow. Stun gun headbutt is gonna work very similar to Birdie's Bull Revenger, the dolphin dive.
Okay.
It's pretty much gonna be the same move.
So pretty much his headbutt is the DDT.
Pretty much. Except you can actually hit it.
Oh man, that's funny.
And apparently it does have a very high stun value. So, you know, it's still stun gun headbutt.
So pretty much, I'm looking at stun gun headbutt. I'm looking at that right now as a tool on Wake Up, just to screw around with it. Especially since it appears to be, it's not a command grab. If it is a command grab, then that's different.
I'm pretty sure it's. I'm not 100% sure.
Because if it's a command,
I'm definitely guessing it's a command grab because he does jump into it.
Yeah. So if it ends up being a command grab, that's actually somewhat of a good thing. Because that's somewhat of a good thing because you can actually use that for setups. His flash chop into power bomb is usually my go-to move for him anyway. So flash chop into German suplex City, bitch. I'm taking people to Suplex City all day. Keith, you also play Street Fighter V, and so do you, Carl. Are you guys looking forward to the introduction of Alex into the game?
Nope.
I'm just sitting here going, Capcom, how much is it going to cost? How much more are you going to rip us off?
Well, to be fair, if I remember correctly, if you play through story mode, you have more than enough fight money to get Alex. At least according to Haunts.
It's true. You get about 160k from doing all the story modes. Characters cost 100k.
All right, let's take a look at some of the update in March that come later this month. The challenge mode comes in. So there's beginner tutorials, 12 lessons covering movement, normal attacks, special attacks, V system, throws, counter hits, chip, and recoverable damage and such. So they're trying to be like Killer Instinct without being Killer Instinct. But Killer Instinct's training mode was so good. Intermediate tutorials, 11 lessons covering projectiles, invincibility frames, armor break, recovery, cross-up, anti-air options. 4 lessons in advanced covering backdashing, frame advantage and disadvantage, combo potential, button priority, and 16 lessons for each individual character, as well as combo trials for all 16 characters.
All I'm hearing you say is stuff that should have been there from the get-go is in there now. Okay, thank you.
Pretty much. Online rematch option, which is option should have been there. 8-person lobbies with match spectating, which should have been there. We got some bugs that are getting fixed in the game, such as sometimes you don't get experience from casual matches.
Yeah.
And on a rare
casual match. No, is it? Yeah, I've seen that bug happen a couple of times.
And on rare occurrence, if you restart the game after you unlock colors, the colors disappear.
Colors disappear?
Yeah. So if you get new colors, they disappear. And then you have gameplay-related bug fixes and balance. I'm just going to highlight some of the universal ones. Birdie and Zangief, these are the 2 exceptions. Vertical jump and back jump frames have changed to 4 frames from 3 frames, so they've been nerfed. So 4 frames from 3 frames, they've been nerfed a frame. Birdie's vertical jump and back jump frames have been changed from 4 frames to 5 frames, and Zangief has no changes to his jump frame, so he still has a 3-frame jump.
How about giving Ken back his Tatsumaki as he's jumping backwards? Thanks, Capcom.
Throw escape change. If you push buttons during the normal throw delay tech window, you are unable to escape for 2 frames. Prevents using light attacks to option select with throw escapes, so they're removing that OS. Let's see what else here. For those of you that play Bipson, if Bipson is interrupted by an opponent's V trigger or critical art during his invisible frames of double knee press in V trigger mode, Bison will no longer remain invisible until his next move. And Rashid will no longer float in air for a moment if you perform his V trigger after he touches the ground on a missed eagle spike.
Yeah, I really didn't play a lot of Rashid players, so I've never experienced that.
Did they? Hold on. Did they fix the issue with Charlie where he do his little teleport thing?
Oh my god!
End up
please.
behind somebody and I can still punch him in the face?
Nope.
Not even that. No, that's
Nope.
what pisses me off so much. Charlie can do his teleport, and perfect example, Laura. Laura will throw a fireball. You get out of the way with the teleport, and you still get hit by the fireball when you're behind her.
Okay, let me clear that up right now, okay? That V trigger is vulnerable for 1 frame. 1 frame. Don't put it out when there's something already there. Just don't worry about it.
I'm talking about when it's already in front of me and I do it and I'm behind her and I get hit. It's like, wait, I should have gotten hit.
You're vulnerable for that frame, but it doesn't register until you're on the other side. They should fix that.
Yeah,
but
they should.
what is happening, not something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, so that being said, yo, Alex joining the cast of Street Fighter 5. Get hype. It should be the end of March. Yo, Whispers of the Old Gods, guys. Hearthstone has a brand new expansion.
What's
and
Hearthstone?
I believe on Monday, they're actually switching, on Monday, much like with the Pokemon trading card game switching to their new format online. Hearthstone's going to be switching from what we know Hearthstone to be now to its standard and wild formats.
So let me ask you a question then, because I haven't played Hearthstone in quite some time. And I know before you get into it, I want Josh to explain this. So does that mean it's going to be a little easier for people who haven't played the game before to get introduced to the game now?
Yes, actually it is. So if you don't know what wild and standard formats are, wild format, plain and simple, is exactly what Hearthstone is right now. What you know and love about Hearthstone is not changing at all. They just called it wild format. Standard format is basically just going to be like Magic the Gathering, where every year they're going to rotate expansions out. So when Standard goes live, Naxxramas and Goblins versus Gnomes, those cards will be banned from play. So you only have to use the vanilla cards and everything from Black Rock Mountain and League of Explorers and the other expansion I can't remember. But those will only be allowed to be played in
Grand Tournament?
Standard. Yeah, there we go, the Grand Tournament. So you can only use those cards. So the meta is going to be changing more quickly if you want to play standard mode. But if you want to just not even deal with that, then wild formats for you, and nothing does change with the exception of about 12 cards or so, I think they said, that are going to get nerfed. And one of them on the radar, and I was actually talking to you about this one earlier, CJ, Big Game Hunter is actually on the table for getting nerfed.
Yeah, I did say it was getting bodied. I remember saying that. I was like, it's gonna get bodied when this comes out. I mean, for those of you that don't know, what is the nerf? Explain to the audience.
They didn't actually determine what it is yet. They're just basically saying that Big Game Hunter is basically being looked at because of, kind of the things that are happening with the Whispers of the Old Gods. So it's perfect segue to talk about this.
All right,
so that's the nukes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a new expansion. It is coming out either at the end of April or at the beginning of May. They haven't set a release date yet, but at minimum, we're 6 weeks away. There's going to be 134 new cards in this expansion, and to make up for the standard format, they're kind of changing some of the old cards into new cards by, I guess, retconning some lore about the Old Gods Whispers, corrupting them. So, like, for example, the Loot Hoarder we have now is a 2/1 for 2 mana, Death Rattle, draw a card. Now they are coming out with the Corrupted Loot Hoarder, which is basically double in stats, the 4/2 for 4 mana, Death Rattle, draw a card. So it's got double the strength, or double the attack for double the mana, and in Arena, this card is really cool because even though it has 2 health, it's out of range of hero powers, and it stops someone from playing, let's say, like a 5/4 on turn 5 because it'll just run into it and die. So it's actually pretty stat balanced for Arena. I don't think this card will see a lot of play in Constructed. It will probably still go back to the Loot Hoarder, since that's a basic card set that should still be included in Standard for more play if you want card draw, but it's a pretty decent 4-drop. Another example is the Antique Heal Bot, which is normally a 5/5 for 5 mana. Battle Cry, restore 8 health to your minion, or to your hero rather. The old gods now have the Corrupted Heal Bot. It's a 6/6 for 5 mana, and it has a Death Rattle, restore 8 health to the enemy hero. So this is going to synergize. Yep, this is going to synergize well with Priest decks, the Akanai Soul Priest. It will basically damage your opponent for 8 if the Akanai Soul Priest is on the board. Also, you have to think about strategy against Handlock. If a Handlock is getting their health down low, you can play this, sacrifice it, heal them for 8, and prevent free Molten Giants from dropping on the board. So this actually has some pretty clever mechanics to it that I am excited to try. And the last one that's getting corrupted is our good friend, the Doomsayer, which was the 2 mana 0/7 at the start of next turn, just destroy everything on the board. This one is a 5 mana 0/7, and at the start of every turn, I know it's not actually worded that way, but you have to read it like that. At the start of every turn, set this minion's attack to 7. So if this is Aldered Peacekeeper down to 1 attack, or if it gets the Uldaman Paladin card to a 3/3, it's going to get bumped back up to a 7 attack at the start of your next turn. So you got to keep that in mind. So this actually now counters those powerful cards that Paladin likes to play. So that's pretty cool. And of course, the legendary that everyone's talking about, Cthulhu, the old god. This card is going to be free for everybody because when you log into Hearthstone for the promotional period, which is going to be like I think the first week the expansion launches, you get 3 free card packs, and on your very first card pack, you have a 100% chance for one of those cards to be Cthulhu. So everyone's going to get this legendary for free. He has a 10 mana 6/6 with a battle cry that deals damage equal to this minion's attack, randomly split between all enemies. So it's basically got Avenging Wrath built in. Now you're saying 6/6 for 10 mana is kind of garbage, but there are 16 cards in the game that actually buff Cthulhu. Like for example, they have the Reckoner of Evil, the 2 mana 2/3 with a battle cry, give Cthulhu +2/+2 wherever it is. So it can be on the board, it can be in your hand, it can be sitting in your deck. And when you play this card, a portal's going to open up and show Cthulhu getting buffed. And then you could buff this up to like a 14/14. Ben Brode even said in testing they got up to a 20/20, and it just destroys everything. It splits 20 damage among everything on your opponent's board. And if your opponent has a board clear and they're more or less than 20 health, it's an instant kill on turn 10. So it's going to be pretty awesome once this gets powered up. But that's all they really mentioned. There's a couple other cards which synergize with Cthulhu. You can pre-order the expansion this Monday, so you can actually go into the game, go into the store, and pre-purchase the 50 card pack, which I think is going to be $10 off the normal purchase. Or I think it's like the same as the 40 card pack, but you get 10 extra packs or something like that.
Same thing for Grand Tournament.
Yeah, I think that's what they did with the Grand Tournament. They're going to do the same thing. You get a nice, awesome-looking Cthulhu-themed card back pre-ordering that you can get right away and use. This Monday, the patch goes live. You get the extra 9 deck slots as well to use, and a preview of the Wild in standard format. So definitely check this out. They're going to be doing voting on the website as well for YouTube streamers. So go ahead, vote for your favorite streamer, and that person will actually get to unveil a new card over the next few weeks. So they're going to be releasing cards through social media, through partners, through streamers, and of course through their own website as well. They have a voting system up on there too. So standard fare, we got 134 cards to get through. We've seen 6 of them, so that leaves 128 cards left, and there's 3 other old gods that have not been unveiled yet.
Okay, so through all that, like they're releasing through streamers, through social media, the only thing that they don't seem to be releasing anything through is news sites like us. So once again, fuck you, Blizzard.
Ghostbusters is real.
All right, so check this out. So everybody remembers after Evo 2015, the Cannon brothers came out and said, "Yo, listen, we got a video game working with Keats on right now, and it's called Radiant Entertainment. The company is called Radiant Entertainment, and we're working on Rising Thunder. Rising Thunder has been out for less than a year in alpha, pre-alpha, and alpha, and people have been playing it. Some stopped, some continued. You know, the game was decently popular." So Riot Games has acquired Radiant Entertainment recently, and Radiant Entertainment, people have announced that they're stopping the development of Rising Thunder. Keith, me and you have played this game when it first came out. I mean, I liked the game. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I honestly, after playing for a while, I didn't think that it had the legs to do what they wanted to do. I mean, obviously, these are the Cannon brothers. These are the people who gave us the Evo championship. And I saw what they were trying to do. They're basically trying to make a free-to-play fighting game and lets you customize your gameplay according to your style. So, a MOBA. However, the lack of inputs was something that a lot of players just could not grasp. I mean,
it was single button presses, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and there were games like that in the past that tried that, and it didn't work out too well. The original Street Fighter also did this, and it wasn't very successful either.
It was impossibly hard to play.
It was. What's that?
Nah, Street Fighter, the original Street Fighter was impossibly hard to play.
No, it was a decent idea, and I like to see. I like the concept. I like the design, and I thought it was pretty decent. But again, like I said, I didn't have the legs, and I think it was more of a let's see what works, what doesn't. More of a throwing the shit against the wall, and if it sticks, what fantastic, and if it didn't, it doesn't. Which is why I can understand why they just stopped development. So okay, we're done. We're not doing this because their other game they're working on, it's still continuing to be developed. Now
you're talking about the Stone Hearth?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Keith.
But that was pretty much it. So we don't know what's happening in regards to Radiant as far as what they're doing other than Stone Hearth, and they haven't stated what the new project's going to be. I'm hoping it's basically something that they've learned from Rising Thunder and put it into a whole different game. Because again, these are the Cannon brothers. These guys, for much as I say this, and many people may not know who these guys are. Again, Evo, good game, peace out. That's them. And if they know anything, it's fighting games.
Yes, sir.
So I would expect that Riot got them for their expertise. I can't see anything else. And if that's the case, please also pick up Seth Killian as well.
So
have those guys to work together.
So you're thinking that Riot and Tencent, because Tencent owns Riot, right? You're thinking Tencent is looking to get into the FGC by picking up these guys.
I don't think they're trying to get into the FGC just yet. I think they're trying to work on something magical. I'll put it that way.
All right, fair enough.
But we won't know anything because they haven't said anything, and we probably won't hear anything.
Yeah, I understand that. That being said, it's kind of a sad thing that this game is actually, and this game had a lot of conversation going the first few months that it was up.
It did,
and it kind of trailed off. I mean, obviously, it's trailed off because the hype for Street Fighter V became real. So it's like, but let's move on. So we all know Play Asia does import games, and they do import games well. I mean,
games?
Huh?
Like what games?
Dead or Alive Extreme 3.
Oh, okay, that's all. Continue.
All right, cool. you can look for that because shouts out to William Cock for getting that game. For the team, taking one for the team. Amazon Japan is now importing games internationally. You cannot log in with your current Amazon Prime, no matter where you are.
Nope.
Unless you already have Amazon Prime in Japan and paid yen out the ass for it. But this is something. I mean, Amazon. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've gotten Japanese games on Amazon straight out, on American Amazon straight out. Like I picked up JoJo's All-Star Battle, from there, and it got sent to the United States easy. From Japan. I only paid like $20 for it.
Right.
This is something that's been done. Play Asia's been doing this forever. People have been going to the local mom and pop shops and paying what, $80 for these games, to go. But I mean, this is a way for them to pay closer to regular price. I mean, Play Asia, you pay close to the regular price anyway.
Right. I think what it is though, like I said in the article that they wrote, it's just Amazon just wants to get in on that. You know, they're getting in on everything, and they actually did this once before in the past, but it was a mistake. And this time around, they haven't come out officially and stated that this is what it is. But at the same time, they haven't corrected anybody from saying, "Hey, Amazon's letting you do this." Because I actually went ahead and created an account. They even have a section on the site that says, create an account in English, and it switches everything to English.
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what else does. And
I got a question. I got a question for everybody else. For like Carl, who is in Australia and who is pretty close to Japan. I mean, do you see yourself importing games from using Amazon from Japan to Australia?
It is possible. I haven't actually ordered anything out of Amazon Japan directly. I usually go through a third party, a friend of mine who lives over there.
Right.
So it all depends on what their pricing is like. Like sometimes, I know Amazon Japan sometimes is more expensive than even using places like Army or Play Asia or places like that. So yeah, it all comes down to pricing and what their shipping prices are like too.
Right. Because apparently, if the shipping prices are, up the ass in terms of like, from Japan to the United States, then, I mean, is it really worth it?
I will tell you, it wasn't that expensive because I went ahead just for shits and giggles and ordered a Japanese version of Dark Souls 3.
And how much was the shipping? I mean, how much was the total price in your bank account when you checked?
I don't remember, but the shipping wasn't that much because if it was, I wouldn't have done it.
All right, I hear that. So, I mean, I know Josh being the the fan of Mega Man. If they have Mega Man products on there in Amazon Japan that you can easily get, I know you probably jump on that real quick, wouldn't you?
Actually, let me log into my account and I'll tell you how much it was.
Yeah, because I'm about 2 games away from owning every single U.S. released Mega Man game. So, Japan's next. That's pretty much the order of things here. So this is actually of interest to me.
Adriel, in terms of Amazon Japan, fighting games, would you go through Amazon Japan or would you stick with like Play Asia or something else, or maybe just getting on PSN?
I'll definitely try it. I know one thing that I need to pick up: the Senran Kagura Estival versus Sakura edition.
Hey, I see that.
Hey, Exceed, if you're listening, I love you. I love you to death. But I need my girl Ryofu Hosen.
Oh man, gotta love Adriel for that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. We got 2 more things to talk about as Keith looks up the pricing for this. But let's continue talking about Amazon.
I had to learn my login.
Oh God. So I mean, I can see myself buying certain games out of Amazon Japan. I can see myself buying certain games, not much, but like certain games that I kind of want. The only problem is you'd have to know if the game is in English or not. Because if you get the Japanese game and it's not in English and you're not Nitro, it's like what am I doing with this game? I just see a bunch of characters that I don't know. Unless you're Josh and just collecting Mega Man games just to collect Mega Man games.
Well, that's, if you didn't know that, then you wouldn't be importing games in the first place, basically.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. So, Keith, did you find out?
I'm looking at it right now. It's the damn yen conversion.
Oh, okay. Oh, they didn't convert it in your bank account? That's crazy.
Yeah, I have to log into my bank account. I ain't doing that.
I know it's not exact, but my rule of thumb is every 100 yen's $1, so I guess just give us guesstimates.
Well,
it was $7 shipping.
What?
Yep.
And the game was $60.
Yep.
And it was $7 shipping.
Yep.
And you didn't pay tax on it.
Nope.
So $70 American.
Yep.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Sign me up for that.
I'm in there like swimwear. Like you ain't even say a word.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cheap. I was like, that's not too bad.
All right, so I'm gonna kick it over to Keith for this one. Keith and Josh for this one because they've been shooting random people in hoodies that were in different colors in Tom Clancy's The Division all this
I haven't
week.
shooting anybody in hoodies. They've been wearing hats. Hats, not hoodies.
Anyways, Tom Clancy's The Division debuted this past Tuesday.
Correct.
And Keith and Josh, as well as Delilah and
Jason. I think Mark's playing it.
And Mark and a couple other people on the site have been really interested in this game. And when I say really interested, they've probably played nothing else.
No, I played Dark Souls again.
Anyways, Keith, Josh, this is your topic. Talk.
Go ahead, Josh.
All right, so yeah, Tom Clancy's The Division, and just for the record, I actually have played other games. Well, if you count logging into World of Warcraft for about 5 minutes to do my daily garrison stuff, then yes, I played other games. Otherwise, no, I've been just playing Tom Clancy's The Division. I've only gotten to level 8 because, job, money, I need to earn it, so I
and
do
servers
this thing for 40 hours. Yeah, and servers, especially on my lunch break when I want to, let off some steam, and Comcast is just being a dick. But
Comcast aren't dicks. What are you talking about, sir?
I don't know. Whatever could I be talking about? They're shit, especially in Florida. But yeah, so Division is kind of like Destiny meets Watch Dogs meets Gears of War meets probably some other game they ripped off, but it's actually quite fun.
Yep.
I played the beta, and I was, I don't know, I had this really weird feeling about the beta because it had that mission system that Watch Dogs has, and of course both were made by Ubisoft, so I was just praying to God that it didn't suck like Watch Dogs did. The beta was also deceptively easy, so when I started playing this game, not only did I find that the mission system was a lot more robust than Watch Dogs, it was actually fun and not just repeating the same quest over and over again, but the game pushed your shit in pretty hard if you didn't learn how to cover and buff before shooting things. So it's a learning experience, but it's a very fun learning experience. I am still a little bothered by the amount of configuration you can do for your skills. Just 2 skills to the trigger buttons or the bumper buttons. I just didn't really feel. I think being an RPG, they should actually include more skills, but they do give you some talents. You can unlock them as you level up. So I guess it does make up for that in such a regard, and you can mix and match and customize and all that good stuff. The only thing I'm really disappointed with, and that just might be the loot whore in me, I think gear is very sporadic when dropping, and typically when you do get something to drop, it's more or less a downgrade from something you can purchase in the shop for credits. So that's kind of my, I guess, feeling from the early going. I'm pretty sure when I level up, it's going to get better, and gear is going to, I guess, be more of an upgrade. So I guess I have to just wait it out and, play it this weekend and get my numbers up and just see it for myself. But so far in the early game, gear has been kind of lackluster. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. It's got me sucked in, and I might actually buy the season pass, which is something I've decided not to do for any game until I've played it now. But this is actually good enough to where I might want to invest the extra money for it. So how about you, Keith?
Yeah, pretty much I'll echo everything that you're stating. I will say that the loot does get a lot better, and also the fact that the crafting system is actually deceptively pretty easy, but very addicting. And the cool thing about it is also when you pick up items, you can also pick up weapon parts, you can pick up fabric for gear, and it's not very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very simple. Fabric will help you build your gear. You can also pick up electronic parts, you pick up the weapon parts, and you can get lower level weapon parts in fabric, but you can also use them, craft them, the higher level ones. So if you have a shit ton of lower end parts, you can make them higher end parts and still make your weapons. I've purchased weapons, I've made weapons, I've been min-maxing the hell out of it, which, especially coming from WoW, when you want to min-max your specs, you'll be doing a lot of that in this game as well. One thing I'm not a big fan of is the fact that the open world is just so vast. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful, but it's empty. when you're playing, you're by yourself until you go to the dark zone. That's not giving me a feeling of immersion. I would like to have seen a couple people on the server at the same time, or in my instance at the same time, which you don't have. Sure, you run past a couple NPCs that talk to you, and you can help them out, and of course the ones you kill. But that's it. You're in a virtual city of New York, and it's empty. Where are the people? Where's everybody?
Wasn't this with the Division, it being more or less, this town is deserted because of the epidemic that came, and it was like,
well, okay, so the epidemic did take out some people, but there are still people on the streets, and if that's the case, you wouldn't have these other opposers or antagonists on the street, but you have plenty of them. But I would like to have just seen. I mean, right now the dark zone you can have the 32 people on there. So why not have your instance have 32 people as well? Give me other people running around with me.
okay, fair enough.
I mean, the only time you can actually do that is if you go to matchmaking and just go freeform or free roam and just do it that way. Then fine, you can get people, but you have to form parties to do that, and that's more of a force thing. I don't like having to do that.
So I can understand that. I can definitely understand that.
But I'm having a blast with the game. I really am. I did play the beta on the PC. I think 2 betas on the PC, and I actually ended up picking up on the PlayStation 4 because most of the guys that are on Outerhaven are playing on the PlayStation 4.
Right.
And I'm really impressed with the port on the PlayStation. Really impressed. I was expecting it to be, I won't say low res, but I was expecting it not to be as good as the PC.
You're expecting it to be ass-tastic.
Yeah, well, no, not exactly. I wasn't expecting it to look as good as it does, or run as good as it does, but it really does look good. It runs good. I think this is doing a solid 30 frames per second. I haven't noticed any dips. I haven't had any issues with controls. It's pretty tight, and for the most part, any reason I died in the game is because I did something stupid.
Okay.
Yep, same here. I would just bum rush a whole bunch of enemies going, yeah, I can take these guys, and I'm dead.
Yeah,
Right,
and like Josh said, real quick, before we go, like Josh said, yeah, this game is a lot harder than it was in the beta. Hell yes.
Yeah.
They ramped the difficulty all the way up, and it is hard.
One last little quick note: the graphics in the beta were complete shit, and the full version of the game looks very polished. So I love the fact that the graphics actually got some love between the beta and release.
And that being said, according to the numbers, this Tom Clancy's game shattered a ton of records, man.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I had it up, but it said this was like their best-selling game.
Well, I can say this. I am gloating about it, but it is early game impressions. I'd say talk to me again once I've experienced end game, because that's where the meat and potatoes should be, and that's where this game will either succeed or fail.
I've actually seen some people talk about end game so far, and they're complaining. I was going to say when you were stating that the weapon drops and the armor drops are sparse and whatnot, they're complaining that they're getting purples every time they drop somebody.
Yeah, but according to Ubisoft, The Division is Ubisoft's fastest selling game ever, breaking the digital record for this game. For their game. So across all platforms. So I mean, pretty much Ubisoft hit a home run with this game.
About damn time they did something right.
Oh shit. Damn. Say it loud for everybody in the back, Josh.
About damn time they did something right.
All right. So I've been playing EA UFC 2.
I feel sorry for you.
Me too. I'm sorry.
Well, forget you too. Early EA access for those of you on Xbox One, we get a chance to play the game about 5 days early.
Is it just 5?
Yeah, it's 5 days early. So we get a chance to play the game 5 days early. And I actually pre-ordered the digital deluxe version because I'm going to review this game on the
site. Are you
going
to cancel it now?
No, I'm not, because the game is actually polished. It's actually polished. Like, there's no real bugs in the game. The game feels very, very smooth. Especially just on Xbox One. This is what I know. This is what I know so far on Xbox One. It feels smooth. you might get a little frustrated coming from EA UFC 1, where the fighting was a little smoother. This one is there's a little bit more refinement to how transitions and the clinch game works. But one of the greatest modes in the game is knockout mode, where you're just fighting until you knock the other man out. Man, you have no idea how happy I was to take Conor McGregor and just put the work into CM Punk and just beat the crap out of him and just knock him out multiple times over.
WWE former wrestler CM Punk in a UFC game, despite actually never having a UFC fight in his life yet.
Rated 80,
hashtag free money.
Rated 85 at that. Like, it just made me, I felt content just taking Conor McGregor's fist into CM Punk's face. Like, I can't stand that guy. But the best part about it is I'm playing career mode right now. Now, typically, last game you got a chance to play as just dudes. You were playing as straight men, just no females, nothing. This game, you can choose to take one of the UFC fighters into career mode, male or female, or create a male or female character, and pretty much go through training in the Ultimate Fighter to get to the UFC. UFC Ultimate Team is also really fun. I think it's a better version of what Madden and NHL have to offer in a lot of ways, because all it is you create your fighter, you go online, you buy cards, and you get started with 30,000 points on jump. So it's not even like you have to buy tokens straight out the gate. So EA is making it easy for you. They're trying to rectify their sins, quote unquote.
This is EA. What? Rectify what?
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to rectify their sin. They give you 30,000 ultimate coins for UFC straight out the bat. If you have both EA UFC and UFC 2, you unlock Bruce Lee for free as well. So you get a chance to play as Bruce Lee in all weight classes. But that being said, the game is actually pretty impressive. The ground game, the transition game, the clinch game has been more refined. It's more of like you playing it now. Now you can actually see yourself playing against the other player. But I think a lot of people have fun with knockout mode, for those that especially miss like Fight Night.
Fight Night.
God, do I miss Fight Night.
I have no idea why they stopped that series. That was a great game.
I know. I don't know why. I don't know why they stopped it either, man. Fight Night, dude. Fight Night Champion had to have been the hardest Fight Night game I've ever played.
I'm glad you changed to hardest Fight Night game you've ever played.
Yeah.
Instead of game you've ever played.
Like the hardest Fight Night game I've ever played was Fight Night Champion, but you have to understand that game was just so enjoyable. The story was great. Like, I missed that. I really miss Fight Night Champion, but for those of you that like Fight Night Champion, knockout mode will probably satiate your fix, because there's no grappling, there's no submissions, nothing. Just straight taking your fist and your feet to your opponent and just knocking them out. Knocking them out the best way you know how, and that's a great party mode. That being said, we've reached the end of the Outerhaven podcast. It is now 9:11 p.m. So we've been going on for about an hour. This is some good timing. So let's go around let's do a whip around and start with Adriel, since this is the first time he's been on a podcast for a while. Final thoughts.
I don't care if one person is listening. I don't care if 1 million people are listening. I will be number one Alex, and you can count on that.
Okay,
fighting words.
Okay, Mr. Number One Thunder in the world.
Number 5, thank you. It's not better, but it's accurate.
It's not better, but it's accurate. All right, so Mace, final thoughts, bro.
If the new Hitman game is starting to teach me anything, it is I am a really bad assassin.
Are you as bad as the Hitman movie?
I'm getting there.
I'm
getting there.
Oh man, that's terrible. That is terrible.
Like they've bumped the AI up on this thing to like near impossible levels. This could be one of the best Hitman games ever if they keep it up.
Yo, go Square Enix. Josh.
I don't care if there's one person listening or a million people listening. I will continue to rush headlong into danger in Tom Clancy's division, get my ass handed to me, get frustrated, rage quit, and go play Hearthstone.
Yo, Keith, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I don't care if anybody's listening other than Bandai Namco. I really would like to review Dark Souls 3. Please help me make it happen.
And yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Go Team Cap.
Yo, fuck Team Cap. I said it.
Go Team Weeaboo.
Yay!
No, Adriel, aren't you Team Nep Nep?
I'm Team Nep. That's true.
Team Nep. Yo, Mace, what team are you?
I'm team. Let's finish this podcast.
Yo, and on that note, on behalf of Carl, on behalf of Adriel, Josh, and Keith, I'm Clinton Navigator Bowman. Man, thank you for cropping up. Thank you for cropping up on the Outerhaven podcast for the 102nd time. And for those of you on Twitch, just rolling out with us. Yo, thank you for showing up and thank you for being great. Thank you for being you. Until next time, gamers. Peace.
Yay!
Huzzah!
You know, you should put on there as a soundboard. You should put in the